Patch is a website that is designed for writers of all kinds. It's absolutely free. You go there and you can start writing your book. We have writing tools that are not available anywhere that I designed for myself and then made it available on that site. You can write there. You can invite your friends to join you. You can co-author with others. You can communicate. You can write from anywhere that you have an internet connection. You can use the site to have other people read your chapters and comment. You can hire or get editors to help you do that. And when you're done and everything is finished, you can press a button and get it, either download it as a PDF to yourself or order a real hard copy book. You can order a single copy, and you can get your first book for like $16, and then it goes down. By the time you reach book number 10, you're less than about $8 or $7 a copy. Wow,
and so that's a very affordable books on demand, but really one-stop shop.
Absolutely, and you don't have to order them. And in fact, if you finish writing it, you can put it in the bookstore, and other people will order it, and then they buy it. You don't have to order books. You don't have to put any expenditure out forward. I mean, I think people who have a talent or have something to say and want to have a book out don't have to go into a big spending spree in order to get one in their hand. I think it should be something that's really easy and cheap and inexpensive, and that's what we try to do, and that's why the book patch is we've launched it about 2 weeks ago, and we have over 400 people writing books as we speak.
Amazing. No, it's a genius idea, and I hope folks check it out. And we'll talk about why you launched it from your experience of attempted censorship. Now finishing up, before we get into some other subjects with you while we have you, what do you expect to happen, though? I mean, you're saying it'd be smart of Netanyahu to back off, and you're saying it looks like he is a little bit, but the same bravado or arrogance, or I don't know what you call it, that caused this could lead to more. I mean, I don't want you to look into a crystal ball because none of us have one, but what do you think is most likely to happen?
Well, I think that the ships are going to continue coming. There's no question about that. And you can understand why. There is people in suffering, and there is a need to help. So this is just one covers the other. And there is a force trying to stop them. And people feel that they're justified in doing it, and more volunteers will join and make that happen. It's kind of like, they're fighting the good fight, so to speak. What would happen is that Israel will find a way, and I think that's what they're working on now, to allow the ship closer in, to surround it in a way that it's not harmful to the people on board, and to show that they're allowing the material to come down, but they don't want the big presentation. That is the best, smart way to do it. But again, considering the fact that we're dealing with the same people who send commandos in the middle of the night to drop onto a ship, fully armed, and then complain that they were being attacked, then, what do you say? I mean, what could you...
Well, that's another point. I mean, there's that archetypal thing of men lowering down in the night, that's when the bad guys come.
That's right, and you're scared of that. I mean, wouldn't you be scared? I mean, what would you... Now, don't forget, we're talking about people that have been dealing with Israel on the sharp side of the bayonet. So they know what's happened, and Israeli soldiers have, gone into the West Bank, have gone into Gaza, had used their weapons. People have died in large numbers. So
yeah, a lot of the people on that boat have family or cousins or friends that are dead.
I would not know. I don't know. But I know a lot of them are volunteers who have heard about that.
No, some of them were former Gazans, yeah.
Yes. And some of them are people that, have never been back to Israel, and, their families have been evicted in 48. So you don't know, but there's a lot of tension going on. And now when they're being attacked, they have no idea they can believe that, the soldiers are coming to kill them. I mean, they don't know. And it's not like the Israelis came down from the helicopter, threw down ballots and said, we're coming in a force, do not resist us, we will fire it. They just came down those ropes, and the people, and to say that they had weapons, I mean, they're showing kitchen knives. Show me a cruise ship that doesn't have kitchen knives.
Or binoculars.
What kind of weapons are those? And then they have...
Well, they're calling binoculars night vision, but expanding on that, a Arab member of the Israeli Knesset is on record, you've probably seen this, saying that Israel wanted high casualties to intimidate people from coming. But watching the video, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, it doesn't really look like that. It just looks like Laurel and Hardy, basically.
Absolutely. You know what? There is no way, no legitimate government in Israel, and I don't care if they're right-wing or left-wing or center, would send people out to go kill them. And anybody who says that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, because that would not happen, and nobody would ever dare even say.
Well, it wouldn't happen because it would be a PR disaster.
Well, no, it wouldn't happen because that is not what Israelis are about. That's not, that's taking it to a degree that it's not there.
All right, well, let me expand on that since you brought that up. What about the USS Liberty? 2 years ago, that they did declassify the NSA intercepts, that Israel was not being honest about why they attacked that ship.
Well, let me tell you this about the Liberty. I was in the Navy. I was not in the Navy at the time that it happened. I can tell you categorically, okay, from my knowledge of the people who were involved at the time in the Israeli Navy, categorically, and you can see that I'm not somebody who goes out to defend Israel. Categorically, this was an accident. Now, there was a lot of screw-ups on the way. I have spoken to many people of the Liberty. I've said this again and again. There was an ambassador from Lebanon, an American ambassador in Lebanon, who said, and he was making a speech, and I was on the phone. I was on a remote, contact, and he said that he personally heard Israeli pilots talking to each other and saying that they recognized or they notified or they saw the flag that was being waved and that it's an American ship, and they said, doesn't matter, let's go attack anyway. And then I turned to him and I spoke to him in Hebrew, and he did not respond because he said he doesn't understand Hebrew. So I asked him, did you hear their voices saying that? Because you think the Israeli pilots were talking English just for you? And he kind of backed off, and he said, no, I read it in the transcripts. I said, but you just said you heard them in your own ears. And it went on and on. There's a lot of fabrication going on about that particular piece, but I can tell you categorically, knowing the people. I also know that the head of the Israeli Navy at the time was not found anywhere, and everybody was looking for him because they had the skunk on the radars, a skunk being an unidentified ship, and he was nowhere to be had because he was having an affair in the middle of the war. So, not everybody came out smelling well from that, but that was not a deliberate act. And the mistakes were, colossal.
Well, I've interviewed the admirals, and they're all dead now, but those interviews are there. And they said that when they got on the phone to McNamara and said, we're sending ships to defend, McNamara said, no, you're not to, and they refused his order. And then LBJ came on and said, look, that ship's going to the GD bottom, and that basically it was a pre-done deal to blame it on Egypt. But you're saying that isn't the deal.
No, I'm saying no. You're mixing two things. The fact that there was a cover-up after that, and that American ships or forces were not sent to aid, and all that is accurate. I don't know about that. I can't say to that anything. I can only say that the attack on the ship itself was not a deliberate act by the Israeli Navy or the Israeli Air Force. And nobody who fired at any point has known or admitted to know that it was an American.
Well, how could torpedo boats not see an American flag?
Well, because by the time the torpedo boats arrived, you're talking about there was smoke on board already. They called in the numbers that were on the side. They did not see the flag because the flag was being waved towards the planes. Now, this is all I can tell you. I mean, I can't get into a lot of detail about it because of the fact that I have not been there. But I know the people that were involved. And and on a personal level, this is completely on a personal, I can vouch for every one of them, knowing that none of the people I know would have opened fire on an American ship. Now, take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, well, from my research, it looks like a live-action Gulf of Tonkin. I mean, again, I'm not... No, actually not. Now, where I find it hard to fathom, what I do find hard to fathom, is the fact that the airplanes, the planes did not see the flag. Now, I don't know. Now, maybe a pilot was strafing and he saw the flag at the last minute and he doesn't want to admit it. That could have been the case. I don't know. I've seen the footage from the machine gun cameras
right? And when it passes over, you don't see any flag at that point. And in fact, that is available in the Israeli Navy book. I have a copy.
No, I know.
I've
seen the footage on television, and it's gray gun pod camera, and it's just you see a big black blob, but his eyes weren't shooting black and white film.
Absolutely, I can't argue with that. So that's what I'm saying. I can tell you from the Navy standpoint, the people